Wow. When I say I had to re-record this because my impression was wrong, I fucking mean it. I did not think this unit would be as good as she was. If you look on the channel yesterday, I uploaded 2 different videos. The first one was just like a normal using her like at low investment, like I'm talking 111. She was still looping really good, like upper 90s. So I did another video where it was just berserkers and she was still able to fully loop it. She had to use Castorius 30%. It wasn't like 100% like it was the other node, which was like riders and casters. I think it was just riders and casters, maybe just riders. But yeah, her refund is really stupid. Like, her kit is really stupid for an art servant. There's a reason why art servants don't start out with a base 50% battery. You don't need a pens, you don't need even investment. And the crazy thing is, she's a ruler. As long as you did a lotto like somewhat recently, like we just had Ilya Fest, you should have enough of the mats to at least get her up to 7. At least get her up to 7. In which case, you are going to be sitting pretty, and you're going to be doing better than I did in that video. Your looping is going to be so much cleaner. I don't think she's power creeping Ibuki, but she's not that far off Ibuki to begin with. They're in the same exact conversation. And Melusine, because she's a ruler, benefits more from having crits than Ibuki does. So let's get started. Base attack 11.495. This is the midpoint. This is pretty much the midpoint. Rulers have a positive attack modifier, despite what a lot of people would say, how rulers don't do that much damage. That's because their base stats are low to compensate that they have that modifier. Effectively, she's closer to like 12.3k, I want to say. Like, there's some rounding in that, but that's around like 12.5, I would say 12.6. Yeah, like it's not bad. That's kind of where you want a farming servant to be around. HP, I think this is like right average. This might just be like average HP, which is fine. Again, she's a ruler. She's tankier by default. She's not going to be taking as much damage. So any like more health. Star weight, star gen, normal. Well, I guess it's not normal, but ruler numbers. I wouldn't worry about this too much. Like, she's definitely going to be critting. This might be a pain point for some people. 0.42. It means her face cards aren't going to be that good unless you're critting. And trust me, if you're using her correctly, you should be critting. You should not be having that much trouble with Melusine critting unless you're not on water side, in which case you need to make sure she is critting. Figure it out. She has a whole lot of traits. Hit counts, 5 hit on quick, 3 hits on the 2 arts cards, which is why this number would normally be concerning, but like, if you've seen her refund, like, it's like that for a reason. Like, if they wanted to make her base MP gain better, they would have had to gimp her cards and make them 2 hits. Like, I'm not even playing. Like, if you can't have a crit servant that is fully reliant on one part of their kit. Like, you can't have a crit servant that's like fully reliant on AoE MP to like give them stars too. You can't have a crit servant that doesn't have an MP. Like, they need to go hand in hand. Unfortunately, like, her balancing act makes her face card damage look bad. As long as you crit on it, you shouldn't be worried. Her MP gain is where it needs to be for her MP type. First skill is basically a mana burst. 30% arts, 30% crit damage, 30% power mod against chaotic enemies, and 1,000 damage cut for everyone else in the party. This 100% is on the level of a mana burst. In a lot of cases, it's stronger than a mana burst because it's not a card. This part isn't tied to a card type, so much like mana burst flame that Karna and Arjuna have. It's split between the card buff and something else. Well, in this case, it's also split between crit damage. But yeah, it's much better that she has this than a flat 3-turn mana burst of like even 50%. Like, it's not that they could have gotten away with that for Melusine. They could have. Like, look me in the eyes. Look me in the eyes and say they couldn't have gotten away with giving Melusine a 3-turn 50% when Arthur and King Hassan have done that. Can't do it, can you? Second skill. Oh, that's what it is. I should have realized it. Okay, so when I was going through the review yesterday, this was not defined, but honestly, it makes so much sense. All right, so Azure Sky Arms Mastery. Again, the name makes more sense because regular Melusine was Parry Dancer, but it was really Eternal Arms Mastery. It's just like Melusine called it that because she's Melusine. Why would the strongest use the name of someone weaker than her? But here it's Azure Sky Arms Mastery. Star weight 500%, not that much, but she's a ruler, doesn't need triple digit. I mean, Lancer didn't need triple digit either, but she still got it. But this is more than enough for her because she makes so many goddamn stars. So the base effect is 10 Star Bomb and 10 stars per turn. If you're on water side, you get another 20 stars, and you also get another 20 stars per turn. So if you are on water side or airspace is probably going to be a lot rarer, but it does definitely happen. We're on the storm border. You triple the effects of this skill. So Melusine probably is going to be the default for a lot of people on the challenge quest, just because she is going to like pretty much guarantee be critting. The star bombs are not scaling. The stars per turn are. The star weight also does scale. That's kind of obvious though. So yeah, you level this skill so you get more stars per turn in star weight. That's it. This should be your lowest priority leveling. And the third skill, it would not be Melusine if she did not have a ridiculously stupid battery. 80% MP, 80% battery, and 30% MP damage for 3 turns. Hard buff, power mod, MP damage. Are we seeing the trend that we saw with Castoria? Oh yeah, an invul for 2 attacks 3 turns. Like, are we seeing this trend with the gigantic battery and having every single power like offensive buff you can imagine? And both of them are also crit. It makes so much sense why Castoria now hijacked that Mystic Code and gave it to us. It wasn't just for her, it was for Melusine too. I'm pretty sure that Melusine had something to do with it. Either that or it's like, oh, let me do this too. Or no, oh, this works out for me too. I wouldn't be surprised if Melusine like asked Morgan to amp it up somehow sneakily without even Castoria knowing, because Morgan is she is queen. But yeah, this is why I was able to do the loop the way I was, because she by default has a 50% battery. If you level this skill and you have mana loading, you have a 100% battery off the rip, just like Habitrot. They literally made a 5-star version of Habitrot for farming any class. Habitrot was already good for being able to start like this. This is overkill, but it's Melusine, so what do you expect? Passive skills, magic resist B, riding A plus, 11%. Fairy Knight C, 12% crit damage against man attribute. Does she need this? No. Is it nice to have? Yes. Oh my god. Yeah, so obviously get mana loading and then you're sitting pretty. Even if you don't have mana loading, you shouldn't worry, because if you're using with her with Castoria, like just with Habitat, you still need to pop like one of those MP gain skills no matter what. And like preferably you want to pop both and then use the 30s. So just pop them on the Castorias. Like the second you get this setup up and running, you're probably all yeah, no. Yeah, as long as you're relying on the 30%, you're pretty much guaranteed to MP with both Castorias on turn 3. As long as they have mana loading, you don't even need Arch Chains. You'll only need Arch Chains if you don't have a Pens. So Melusine's lethality goes up even more, but she doesn't scale off attack as well as you'd think. Or she's by that point in the loop, that much attack isn't exactly gonna do that much for her, because she ramps up attack and it activates first. She also ramps up crit damage and power mod against her attributes, just like Summer Ibuki. Her MP is so sick. Her kit is so sick. Her mats are not that bad. Besides this, I'm screwed on this. So bad on both my, well, wait, no, on my main account, on my NA account. I actually don't know how bad I am, like how low I am on this account. And then it depends. 30 metals, 30 dust. Honestly, for her, I'm surprised they didn't shove bells in here just to fuck with us. They could have made this 72 bells literally just to fuck with us. Especially because Morgan needed them too. %20 crit damage, general. While you're on water side or airspace, you get another 10%. Okay, so if you have Summer Ibuki, you don't need her. If you have a farming servant you absolutely love, they're the servant you're like taking to like Bond 15, like your Space Ishtars or Summer Kamas, your Summer Musashis, your Summer Ibukis, you do not need Melusine. You don't. Her banner doesn't have like with the exception of Sith, it doesn't have like the super meta option that wasn't there before. There is no Chloe on this banner, although like for dot teams there is, and that's it. But for like general use, there isn't like a stand out. We have Melusine, who's great. She's amazing. If you don't have anyone that fits AoE arts, like anything like that you bring to any kind of fight, because I haven't even talked about her damage. Like I'm trying to like not oversell this character, but she's really, really good. If you're comfortable the way your account is right now, you do not need her. If you're summoning her, it's because you want her, not because you need her. But again, here's a little something. Because of the way her battery works, yeah, so she's basically an art servant that loops like she's a buster servant. How she kind of doesn't really care about refund. Yeah. Like, especially in double Castoria Oberon, you have so much charge, it literally doesn't fucking matter. Like, this is like, these two are 50, Oberon is 70, Melusine herself is another 250. You need to across, oh, right, and if you start with mana loading, that's 70. Across 2 turns, you need to gen 30 MP gain as an Art Servant. Do you realize how easy that is? It's like, if it was a quick servant, that's one thing. This is an Art Servant. They do that casually. They do that without buffs. Without buffs other than their own. This, I don't think Summer Ibuki can do it like this, because she needs to like start charging too quickly. No matter what, with Summer Ibuki, you're going to need to pop 40% on that first turn, along with her battery. So you're only gonna have 130 left for the rest of it. Melusine has 170 by that point. She has 170 extra. She has so much extra battery that it really does matter. And now we come to the damage chart. Ruler. What a surprise! She's literally at the top of the list and matching Scotty. But in her defense, she is actually keeping pace on paper with Karen, with Scotty, like pretty much. Scotty follows behind, but like again, like Scotty's more of a support. The fact that she is keeping up is more notable. Like literally, if you're on lawful, you're good, or you're matching it. It's only when you get chaotic and earth that Melusine outpaces Scotty. But yeah, Karen, you literally slap black. She's always using black roll anyway. Yeah, she's smacking around her competition. And another crazy thing is she's not that far off of EO. EO is an MP5 welfare. And she's barely out damaging Melusine in the long run. This is her max potential besides Grails. This is nowhere close to her max. The second you get MP2, EO is like not farming nearly as good for you. EO does not hit as hard. We got 2 AoE arts rulers in the same fucking year, and like within 6 months of each other. And of course, this one is going to roid the shit out of this one, because this one specializes in arts crits. I guess there was a reason we got so many art supports in the last year. I guess there was a good fucking reason. Because now we have Berserker Castoria, and we have Melusine, that this is now a servant you want around for buffing those two specifically. Am I complaining about power creep? No, I'm actually not, because of what they did with Chloe. They made a servant that can literally let other servants like touch Black Rail. That was such a huge balancing thing that kind of that does change the way I want certain buffs to go out. Obviously, not every servant should like, Chloe is not a must summon. It's just she enables other comps, but the cost definitely goes way up there. So bet like a servant that is able to do it without Chloe is in a good spot. If you need Chloe, doesn't mean you're in a bad spot. Especially the 50% Black Rail Loopers, they're not in a bad spot. They just need like little oomph. needing a buff or something else. Chloe kind of is a band-aid solution, but like it's not like it's not like a teeny tiny, oh, you have a little cut. No, I'm talking like a band-aid solution, like the size of a cast. That's the type of solution Chloe is. She doesn't fix the issues. She gives you a different way to treat it. And you got to be uncomfortable for a little while. With that cast, you got to be uncomfortable. You're not moving as much, can't do as much, but you're still able to like move around and function. That's kind of my comparison. I'll talk more about it when I actually do Chloe's video. But yeah, she is nuts. Her damage is stupid. Her farming is stupid. If you get her, you will not be complaining. Is she absolute must summon? Balls to the wall broken. Your account is ruined if you get her. Don't get her. No. But she is really, really good. In the same way that Summer Ibuki is really good. They are going to like, if you care for them, if you have Castoria, if you have Zufu, because I use Zufu in a lot of my farming anyway. Like Bine's about to be Bond 10 strictly from her being an art support farmer in place of Castoria. I don't expect to be doing the 1-1-1 stuff with Zufu, but I do expect to be farming with her fairly until she hits Spawn 10. And once she's done, I'm just gonna put Paracelsus on and let him farm with Melusine. Because I did that on NA. Now it's his turn on JP. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Thank you for making it to the end of this video. If you enjoyed, drop a like or sub. Hope to see you in the next one. Peace.